Our future shines brighter when we cut our talent across the myriad of industries. Today, we're delving deeper than usual. We're delving right into prosperity.
Exactly, Thelma. From agriculture to tech, entertainment to manufacturing, diversification is the heartbeat of a stronger economy.
So true. Think of prosperity as a river, a big one at that. The more streams flow into it, the stronger it becomes.
Let's talk about opportunities flowing from every corner and, of course, empowering the nation at large. If you're onto the network service of the NTA this second, just know that this is Weekend Dealer. My name is Suleiman Babajia Usman.
Indeed. Do you know that the more we tap into different industries, the talent, the resource, the ideas, the more the possibilities advance. Let's explore this together on Weekend Deal, the #1 television program on the NTA, especially at the weekend. My name is Thelma Obadan.
A wonderful, saxophone there. Is very talented with it, and I'm sure a lot of people have enjoyed that beat this morning, just like I did. And of course, our concentration on the show today is on multiple streams for prosperity. The idea is to diversify the economy. Of course, the government has been making that push to, sway people away from the idea of oil and look into agriculture, manufacturing. Tech innovation is actually very important in this process. Now, to set the tone for our discourse on Weekend Deal today, let's take this background report, and after that, we meet our guests.
Industrialization is more than big machines and tall buildings. It is the engine of growth. In textiles, Nigerian fabrics are finding their way back into our wardrobes. In pharmaceuticals, we are producing essential drugs right here. In construction, cement and steel made in Nigeria are building the roads, bridges, and homes of tomorrow.
We're looking at localization here. First of all, is to locate the right kinds of industries around the available resources. I'd give an instance. We have places like Benue State, and you'd see places where you have vast land of plantations of mangoes or other fruits. Just imagine having to put a juice processing factory there, as opposed to having it miles away, where it's the proximity from the resources.
Local manufacturing means jobs for our youth. It means skills transferred to our people, money circulating in our economy instead of leaving our shoes. Most importantly, it means pride, the pride of seeing made in Nigeria on shelves across Africa and the world.
One of the problems local producers face is not getting adequate support. So we see instances where someone has money and other resources, and they want to put they want to maybe establish factories in certain places, but whether it's local or state governments, in some cases probably want to ask for some incentives as opposed to giving the incentives to the person coming to establish the factories. So sometimes we have some bureaucratic bottlenecks that could come in the way, and that really is a big challenge. And as for the technological part, sometimes we put square pegs in round holes. We do not use the properly trained people for the right jobs. So I would say using the right personnel for the right jobs is a challenge, or becomes a challenge when they are mismatched.
Manufacturing in the 21st century is not just about factories, it is about technology and innovations.
Incorporating technology to manufacturing, it makes it easier. Two things, or one of the things it does, is to reduce manpower, meaning that in the past what 30 people would do, you could have just a couple of people do it, because you now have machines that can do exactly the things humans used to do. So you need less people. So technology can help to optimize resources, both human and financial resources.
Manufacturing and innovations are not just economic terms. They are a path to self-reliance, a path to jobs for the people, wealth for the nation, and a path to a productive economy built by us and for us.
Talatu Landi, I call her First Lady. That was quite in-depth, talking about where we were, where we are now, and the direction that we ought to be heading towards. We should be progressive, and we should utilize every idea, every talent, and every resource that we have to ensure that we get there. You're watching Weekend Deal. Our focal point today is on multiple streams of prosperity. You could also say income diversification. It's no longer news that our financial experts tell us on the daily that no one who wants to progress and make impact should rely on only one income stream. And when you hear it out there, Weekend Deal brings it right in here so we can all be the better for it. Our guests are here, and it gives us great pleasure to begin to welcome them. First up, I welcome Mr. Emmanuel Kofi Spliff. He's an entrepreneur. as well as an energy expert. And when we start to talk today, you will see areas, uncommon areas that we'll be delving into. Welcome you to Weekend Deal.
Good morning, good to be here. Thank you for the time.
Okay, great. Our other guests are also here. Please permit me to make very welcome to Weekend Deal today, Zainab Momo Adetunji, a chartered accountant, a financial clarity strategist, and a tax expert. Wow.
It's a
Welcome
pleasure
to
have
Weekend
you
Deal.
join us. And interestingly, just before the show actually, properly begin with having this conversation with you, it's good that we're already striking some background deals.
Seriously.
All right, our next guest is Tijan Adewumi Ibrahim. He is the founder and group CEO of Bratim Group.
It's great to have you with us on Weekend Deal today, Mr. Tijan.
Good morning.
Wow.
Thank you for having me.
Your name is quite unique, and I know you're going to nourish our discourse with some unique dimensions. So Weekend Deal now is traveling to Mina. Before there was oil, there was soil, and there was agriculture that was feeding the nation and nourishing many families across cultures. From NTA Mina today, we get to feel the vibe about going back to our roots. Take it from here, please.
Niger State. Agriculture is more than an occupation. It is a pathway to economic transformation, from crop production to livestock, fisheries, processing, transportation, in marketing. Every stage of the agricultural value chain creates opportunities for wealth and employment.
If we must go back to that again, we have to move from subsistence to commercial, deploy modern technologies in production, improve our value additional processing, and also introduce a storage system that will actually help us to move agriculture to become a driving force of Nigerian economy.
Across Mina, the capital of Niger State, and other parts of Niger State, farmers are embracing modern technology and improved farming methods, proving that agriculture is no longer just about survival. It is a profitable business.
For us in Niger State here, if you have been a follower of events here, you'll notice that Governor Morubago has invested heavily on agricultural mechanization. As we speak now, every of the 25 local governments have over 10 tractors that are running every day across the farmlands in all the local governments. Now, Niger State, as we currently stand, is one of the biggest producers of paddy rice, of yam, of cocoa. We are probably the largest producer of cocoa, in fact, in shea butter in Africa. So this means that there are a whole lot of opportunities for people. Again, coming back to the issue of unemployment in terms of agriculture, if you look at it, women who are actually sourcing for these shares are local women. And that means there's a greater employment in that process. So it doesn't even have to be people who have gone to school only. It means the locals, the educated, because the locals will source for the material. The educated can process, transport, sell, export.
The journey of agricultural produce does not end on the farm. Processing, packaging, transportation, and marketing add value, create jobs, and strengthen the economy.
Nigeria has vast land. We cry every day. Petroleum products are moving higher and higher. Now look at jatropha farmers is an alternative of producing petroleum to drive our vehicles around. And I feel if government can invest in production of this jatropha, I feel it's going to be a very welcome development.
The future of Nigeria lies in unlocking the full potential of agriculture by investing in our land, empowering our farmers, and supporting agribusiness. We can create multiple streams of prosperity for generations to come.
For generation to come, indeed, is the idea to create that competitive economy. Of course, we need to diversify the economy in order to ensure that, of course, it used to be agriculture, then oil boom, and we seem to left any other thing for just that. But now the need is certainly staring us in the face, and of course we are going to unpack all of this, and we start with the only lady among our guests.
Somehow,
right.
how did I know that Celia was going to go there? But well done, good one.
All right, ladies first. Anyways, now, how critical is it to have this conversation now, and not only to have this conversation, but begin to practicalize it as we, aim to have a more sustainable economy that is very competitive?
Okay, it's really important because most of us, when we look at prosperity, when we look at diversification, we look at it from just one stream. And anybody that wants to prosper in today's economy don't depend on one string. You depending on one string is like you're killing yourself before the daylight. So, and you having multiple strings of income and having a resilience, because most people, what we just say is, oh, we have income. Income is coming from one source, but not also looking at things that help you create more wealth. Because with things that is happening in the economy now, we all know people are being affected. The oil boom is declining or the speed. So what we need to do, both the government, both individual, we need to diversify. And diversifying, not just only that, we also need to be resilient, because your salary is your income, is a one string. But what gives you prosperity, what gives you a proper outcome is your skill that you put into it. So most of us, okay, what's happening to agriculture? We've allowed it to go into these things. What agree to the creative industry? We've allowed it to go into this thing. And with the economy, Nigeria should also look at other means of income. We know oil is going. I know the green area, the green income now is taxation. Either we like it or not. That is the green area. But there are other places we feel government should look at. Solid minerals are there. Agriculture is there. Even manufacturing. If we have policies that enhance this industry, it will definitely give us a good landing space. Have policies that are applicable, that also will make those other industry progress.
Interesting.
Thank you very much, my chartered accountant anyhow. I like that. I like that. I'm feeling the vibe. Every conversation is a learning curve.
True.
Because oftentimes we think we know. We don't know, because if we know and what we know is not changing our trajectory and making positive impact, then what do we really know?
Sure.
So we thank you for that, and we're going to learn more. I will come to you, Mr. Spleef. Mr. Spleef, you crossed. We're talking multiple streams of prosperity. So you crossed. It takes a high level of courage to cross, and determination and strategic planning. Many people in this day want to set up. They know I need multiple streams. So I have a paid job. I want to add another stream. How decisive should their actions be, and what steps ought they to take to secure their entrepreneurial pursuit? And to say, I'm taking the right steps. She mentioned resilience. So we know we will be resilient. But what steps should we take that will be actionable, that will say, okay, we have done this one. This was what we ought to do. We have done it.
Anyway, thank you for, first of all, having me on this show again, once again. So thank you for also having these other panelists on this discussion on the topic diversification of economy or having multiple streams of income. Thank you for your question. Well, I transitioned from the oil and gas into the hospitality and entertainment business. Well, one of the things you first of all need to put into consideration is that you have to first of all have it in your mind. You have to have the plan set up in your mind, and in trying to get that, you have to also make sure you go out and start reading out for books. You need to also look out for successful stories from men who have made it, and also need to learn their pitfalls. How did they start? It's not just having the plan and not executing it. You can have a wonderful plan, but the ability to bring it into fruition is what makes the difference. So again, you need to also look at how the businesses are done before, and how businesses should be done today. And so with that, you need to strike a balance so that the moment you start off, automatically you know that you're not going to fail. But in all of this, you have to also ensure that first you are well knowledgeable. Secondly, you have to ensure that you have the skill set. Thirdly, you have to ensure that your policy orientation should be such that it has to be different from the world that's used to do it. I'll give you an example. I'll take my own case, for example, when I brought in the Confino hospitality and tourism business. Now, what I found out in Nigerian case is that you realize that a lot of our big hospitality tycoons, so to speak, today a lot of them are nowhere to be found. Now, one of the things I realized is that they just jump into the sector thinking they're going to make money, but they don't have the consistent mental energy to keep on the pace. So you need to have the consistent energy to be pushing all the time. And so in as much as you want to be there, you have to ensure that your policy becomes your principle, becomes your bond. So it doesn't matter who the hell is there as an employee. The moment an employee makes any mistake, the person has to be fired. You have to be firm. Yeah. You don't need to compromise, because if you don't take that step and you're not solid, before you know it, your business will start going down. I'll give an example. Now, because you have a routine of workers with you, and you've already put forward the policy plan that this is how you want to go. So you're going to have a meeting, you're going to have a symposium, you're going to have a kind of classes with them, you're going to have a kind of presentation with them, and you also need to take them through the different processes. Okay, so automatically they have to know that when you're doing that, you have to also employ experts who also help to do the engineering of how the business should run. And so you're going to do a pilot case. And the pilot case you're going to do, you're going to set out the rules to see how it will go. So the moment you find out that some areas are having issues, we quickly have to go back to do the engineering, so that by the time you come back the following day, you kick in, you see the difference. Now, the moment you take off, everybody is expected to follow through. And so as you're doing that, you also need to also have a think tank plan in the background to be pushing at all times. So the moment you find an employee wanting, you don't need to keep the person to be fired. Because if you don't do that, others who are also in the system will think that, oh, you are doing favoritism. So the moment you start having this favoritism, tribalism, and all this inequality in the system, you will see that before you know it, your system will start going there, because they start forming cliques. And from forming cliques, before you know what is happening now, they will now start taking sides and forming union inside a small ecosystem that you think you want to manage to take it up to that level. So first and foremost, you as the owner have to show leadership. In other words, you must be ready to take the hard decision. It doesn't matter whose ass is being carted for. So by so doing, all your employees will be up and doing. But if you don't have it, forget it. Don't even come in. And so that is why if you look at the industry today, majority of the big names, why is it that they failed? They failed because, one, they don't have the mental capacity to sustain the business for over a short period of time, for a period of 1 year or two. The next thing you see is that, again, they don't also, the reason why they don't also have the mental capacity is that they are not stable in terms of keeping up to their policy, because the moment they see Mr. A doing a particular thing, they don't also change. And when he asks them why you change, they say, oh, it's because I saw Mr. A who just told me that his own business is good, so for that reason I'm doing. But so if you're not consistent over time, you want to start imitating people, just know that you're going to fail. So one of the policies that you're not going to change, 2, you have to be consistent, 3, you have to be firm. Above all, your policy must be your bond and must be your blood. That is it.
But that's not to say that you cannot learn from others.
No, of course you're going to learn from others.
Okay, talking about learning from others, let's come to you, Mr. TJ. Of course, we have Indonesia, we have the likes of Malaysia, United Arab Emirates, where you could say that, oh, we ought to have developed almost at the same pace, but these countries have managed to diversify their economy, even it's still benefiting from their natural resources, which we also have in abundance. Now, what are we not doing right? Are we not learning well, or maybe we have, we try to learn differently? Why are things not really working the way we expected when it comes to diversification? Because if we have everything in place, we shouldn't be having this conversation now.
Thank you again. Good morning, the viewers. Well, that's a very, very interesting question, right? So this is at government level now. So one of the things, to my understanding, is patriotism is missing everywhere. At individual level, from the military to, yes, even this organization we're actually seated. So when you see anything going wrong, nobody wants to speak because it's about government. The Malaysia you're talking about, so I've gone to all these countries. As a matter of fact, so as somebody that run a learning organization, so I've done a lot of studies. So one of the things that's going on for China that's going well is patriotism. Engage a Chinese person, engage a Malaysian, engage a Singaporean.
But the staff here are quite patriotic.
Oh, yes, the citizen. No.
He's saying there needs to be more.
No,
It's at different levels.
It's at different levels.
Okay.
So engage somebody. Just travel outside the country. Nigerians and other ones. Nigerians will talk about the bad thing about their countries.
Sure.
So I teach classes. So when we go outside the country, there was a particular time in Amsterdam, from different people, I don't want to mention names. So when it's time for Nigeria, they respect Nigeria. They respect Nigerians. But when we speak bad about our countries, they start looking, So this is the Nigeria we're talking about, because they see the figures. But these small people from these small countries, they start marketing the countries to us. And people that's the next place they want to go and do training. So I think one of the key thing, like I said, is patriotism. Secondly, in terms of focus, so there are no long-term plan we're actually following as a country. Honestly, it's now. I can see whether we like it or not, whether we like the president, we started looking at 50-year plan as we speak. Whether the country poverty has increased, just your own statistics. My own statistics, things are getting better for the long time, not now. So when you have a 50-year plan, that somebody, irrespective of the party, irrespective of what you're doing, everybody knows this is what I'm pursuing. So you see America, you see them, they will pursue something. They will say, okay, Obamacare should go, this one should go, but America first. Sure. There should be Nigeria first, irrespective of the tribe, irrespective of the language, irrespective of religion. So these are the things that are actually missing. Okay, he has mentioned the focus, the policy must be your watchword, must be your Quran, must be your Bible. So that's what we need to have as a country, so that before I even contest, I know that there's something
you're going back
so,
to.
but if I said, this is not going to allow me to eat the money I want to eat, continue your business.
Sure.
You understand? So we need to start. The systems are not there. Now we have integration of data. So road safety, this one will collect other one, this one will collect other one. Nobody. But now what are we having? It's been synchronized. I can pick somebody up at Port Harcourt because I can watch the person from here. Sure. So those things were not there before. So people start thinking, but there's still a huge distrust of the system. Because if government brings something today, my thinking is, they want to chop money.
Exactly. Well, that's
Yes, but everywhere in the world, this thing happens. They need to settle politicians. Forget it. It happens. But what is the benefit of this particular project? We talk about the Lagos Calabar. You tell me it's 10 trillion. Do I care? When it was zero, do I have it? I don't. Right? So, but if I have it, does it help my business? It helps. The first time the driver drew, from Lekki axis, I said, hey, does that exist? He said it exists. Okay, let's go. Whoa, this is fantastic. So I can go to Calabar from here in the next 2 years. And it takes me 2 hours. I'm okay. I used to go to Calabar to go and lecture weekend, Friday, stroke Sunday, doing flights. Sometimes we go in our corners, we go and land in Uyo. Those are the things. So to actually embrace patriotism, needs to come back. We need to love our country. If you bring it to the to individual level, if it's about our business, you need to love what you do. Sure. You need to love your family, because who is the government? Us.
We are.
So the kind of government you see is actually what is a function of the society. Indeed. What are we talking about? Indeed. So when anybody wants to point finger, they point at the Aso Villa. Before Villa, there was somewhere. True. There was a street, there was a room, there was a house, there was a parent.
They were human beings.
So let me also add before I stop. When you say agricultural mechanization, I grew up in Oyo State. There was no mechanization. My father, my grandpa did not have machine. We were farming. We were eating. So we should not sell dummy to ourselves. To have food, we don't need those machines only. Yes, we need it to actually export. But to eat, we just need the land. We need a safer farm for us to eat. empower the subsistence farmers also. We should not focus on only mechanization. That is, yes, China did it. China did not have food when they are exporting food. I will not tell you the truth. They were also rioting that, why are you exporting rice when we're not able to eat at that time?
Okay.
But they say, okay, it's a policy. We need to end the dollars.
Okay.
If you go to China today, if you want to buy this table, if it's export, it's cheaper. If you buy a cash in China, it's actually more expensive. Just for you to what? We want to look good. Sure. We want people to bring that money.
Sure.
So these are the things, I would say, for now, in that regard.
Thank you so much, Mr. TJ. That was rich. And it's clear.
Seriously.
Patriotism. Nigerians, speak good of your country. We have no other country to call our own. Long-term plan. Suffer now, but enjoy in the future. So your children and grandchildren will enjoy. Some Nigerians don't want to hear that, but I see Sule smile. I'm sure Sule likes that, as does Mr. TJ and the rest of my friends who are here. And finally, what was the third one you said? Agriculture. But I find that, like you said, it's not just that we need to embrace everything mechanized. We need to rewire our minds to say that we can do this. Because I find that young people or some Nigerians think it's not sophisticated to say I'm a farmer. But good thing, I'm seeing young, dynamic people who farming now is one of their streams of income. Sure. And we need more of them to come out and be role models. So people like Sule can now go back to the farm and claim it.
We are already back to the farms.
That was a yab. I know we'll get there. Thank you so much, Mr. TJ. Let me talk with you, Zainab. You said tax is green, and I know that we'll get there. But before we get there, because we're talking about let's move fast. Sure. Sule said earlier that we're having this discussion because something is not clicking. It needs to click. We speak the English. You give the lecture. Sometimes if you look at the people you have spoken with and look at how many of them go back and actualize what they have learned, we'll be doing our fingers like this. So we want more of them to get on board. If you were to speak now to 50 million Nigerians who want to take action today and follow all the advice they're getting from this masterclass, what actionable steps, what enterprise can they set in motion, and in a short while they'll begin to see?
Okay, thank you.
Promise.
Thank you very much for this. My other panelists have spoken distinct things that I want to pick from before going straight to your question. Okay. Brother here talked about you need to go have policies, you have that intention to say, okay, this is what I want to do and everything. The first thing first is you have your processes, you have your structure in place. There are things as entrepreneurs, there are things as people that want other streams of income for us to do. Outside you having your policy, outside you having your processes, how do you match to ensure that those things are being implemented? Do you have a review system in place? It's not just by you having policies or saying, oh, Mr. TJ has introduced one line of business. Okay, I only have two. Let me quickly copy. Do you know his own strategy or action plan behind why he's doing that? It might be doing review. It might be doing far beyond review. It might be calling experts to check his book, to check other things. It might be also looking at other gray area outside his ecosystem to see, okay, if I bring this in, this will work. So if you're not putting those things in, doing your review, and also sometimes we when my other panelists say, if they're not doing well, sack them, I laugh. Yes,
no sentiments
attached. He's right, because most of the time, we as entrepreneur or we as business owner, we bring in sentiment. What will people say? Not looking at the long run of the business you are putting in. So we need to see how we manage this. Clarity first is one thing. Where you're going to is one thing you need to know. If you don't know where you're going to, that means your road is not clear. So as a business person, as an individual, even as a government, we need to diversify. Okay, we are diversifying. What ways are we putting in to ensure that this thing is easy for whoever? Okay, if you're a government person, they'll tell you, as a government employee, you don't need to have another business because it it might bring
We're allowed to have
conflict of
farms.
interest.
We're allowed to have farms.
Yeah,
agriculture.
no, that's it's only agriculture farms. So as a civil servant, automatically you can go into farming. Even as a civil servant, you can also do fund management. You can do wealth investment, so that you can have another string of income outside your salary that is coming in. Then the agriculture, we said, is there. Then also, even as an employee, you have a skill. You can decide to train based on that your skill and get an income. Mr. TJ is a trainer. So before he became a trainer, he's a chartered accountant. So he does decide that, okay, he created a niche for himself to say, oh, I want to diversify. I want to ensure that everybody knows this is what it is. Our guy here, you said he came from the oil and gas and he moved to the hospitality. He saw that there was a lacuna, there was a gap there that he needed to fill. And he saw a gray area there. So he took into it. So anybody that wants to diversify, anybody that wants to get income, outside you having the mindset, outside you having the policies, there are things you need to know. Your structure must be right. You must have a great structure. You must review. There are policies too that it is a must, because most business owners, most people that want streams of income, they fail to understand that every business you do, every income that you want to generate, there are implications that you need to ascertain, either statutory or otherwise. Okay. So at statutory level, either you're doing your papers are right, you're filing with the statutory government, or you're paying your taxes, or there are licenses that you have to pay and get. Most people don't know that. Then when you do that, also again, your financials, that is the key. Most of us feel, oh, I have this source of income. There is X amount I've put into this business. And at the end of the day, most of us will feel, oh, I have £1 billion and I've made a profit of 100 million, and that is my profit. My dear, that is not your profit, because there are other things that we go in. So at the end of the day, if you don't keep records, if you don't have the sufficient policies, things to follow, you can start. There's everybody that you can start a business.
No, now everybody
but I
can
ask you a
start.
specific question.
Yeah.
Where can people launch? What areas, like you mentioned the gap, what areas can Nigerians key into? They have resource, because first the idea needs to come. He's one of the blessed few. He had the focus, he was relentless.
Sure.
Some people even have resource. Where do I put it?
Sure.
Some have idea, can I follow through? Who do I partner with?
Yeah.
Where, looking at Nigeria now, where are the gaps? Name 1, 2, 3.
We have
people can key
agriculture.
in.
Agriculture is there. The creative industry is there.
But I'm lazy. Not me, I mean many people are lazy and they cannot afford the mechanized kind of farming.
Yes.
Next,
so
second,
you can do, just like TJ said, you can go and start on the backyard. Most people have just bags, they call it, and they plant, and before they get a land. So you have the creative industry. Yeah, we have so many content creators now, but there should be policies and things that guide. Okay. Then also, people go into fund management. I can have money that is sitting idle. Instead of me putting it in the bank, I want to put it into, give it to a fund manager to do. Then most of us, creatively, we can make dresses. You can decide to put that your niche. You want to make fashion is there. You want to sell, because most of us will say, oh no, I don't want to go do the buying and selling in the market. People do some kind of good. There's even something that people don't do. You know that I can be a very busy professional. You is a very busy individual. People can do this kind of private shoppers. These are things people can do. I can decide and say, oh, I want to be a private shopper to Madam T. So Madam T don't need to go to the market. I come in, I have my things there and say, Madam T, what do you need? I can go to the market. I can go to Dede. I can go to Maraba to buy things for you. Then also, we're in the north. Most northerners, they are getting married. They don't want to go to the market to buy. I can decide to be the person to go and do shopping for them. So these are great areas people should look into. Outside the agriculture, they also manufacturing. There are little things, because people have, nowadays all of us are running from chemical cream. You can go into organic, making organic cream with just shea butter and other things you can mix. It will make it your own unique
Now these are practical ways for people to engage. Now, coming back to you, oftentimes, especially if you read these motivational books or talk to, financial experts, they will tell you to save, to invest. Save to invest. Let your money work for you. But how do you convince somebody who is barely making ends meet, they're just making enough to take care of his basic needs? How can that person begin to save and eventually go into investment?
Yeah, thank you for that question. The truth to your question is this: it will be very difficult. Now, one of the ways you can help people of that cadre is that the government need to come in and create an incentive for them. But in trying to create an incentive for them, government need to put in a policy that will help to train those persons to be sure that once these funds are released, they're going to make good use of those funds so that those funds can come back to the government. Now, if you don't have that, whatever money you give them is going to go down the drain. So the persons involved too need to also have a positive mindset that this money given to me is not for my personal consumption. It's also important because a lot of people see government funds as free money.
Yeah. Okay, when you talk about free money, I remember the intervention during the COVID-19 when we had recession. I know that there was money, to the tune of 200,000, 150, 500,000 given to people as loan, and Nigerians actually thought it was free. Now they're paying back through the Global Standing Instruction, GSI, whereby you have to activate your account wherever you are, and the government is taking back its money.
Yes.
Now, is that exactly what you're referring to? It's not that the government doesn't support, but are we throwing money?
We're not throwing money per se, but the citizens must be responsible enough first to be accountable to themselves. That way they will do better. But if they're not accountable to themselves, there's not. I'll give an example. Just take for example now, there's this thing that is happening around town. The moment they perceive that you have, maybe you are well-to-do kind of, you see people coming to meet you for assistances. Now, some of the people coming to meet you for assistance, majority of them are not genuine. So they first of all go back and cook up stories that will be so sellable, where you'll be very much empathic, such that at the end of the day, you start parting with your money. But the problem is not parting with your money. The problem is that you giving them the money is not the issue. The problem, are they really going to make use of the money the way they are coming to you? The answer is no. So why you want to give out the money, also need to set up a mechanism, do a follow-up mechanism in the background, set somebody to follow them up.
For checks
at the
and
point
balances.
of them making use of the money, you only realize that at the end of the day it's not true. So because of that, a lot of people who actually need this may not also get it. And so first of all, as a citizen, we have to be responsible. Then those who want to assist can also actually come out to assist. Okay. It becomes very sweet, interesting, and lovely that you've given money to somebody to do a thing and the person is doing well. It motivates you to do more. But where you come in and see that the person is not doing anything, rather than doing what the person has told you, you see them coming with defensive stories why that thing you gave them is not the reason why that. So there's always one story or the other. So for that reason, you cannot see them to grow. But let me come back quickly. Something she talked about, but I need to also add the voice to it. Now there's this new rave about the tax and no tax. So you all stop giving consent to manufacturers, industry owners. But there's something I want to pick. If you go to Europe, they don't really play with the tax, because there's an incentive behind it, but we don't talk about it. The incentive, what it does in real sense is that it gives you opportunity to grow your business, because it gives you so more tax holidays. And those tax holidays, what it does is that in the background, it helps you to reinvest those monies quickly. So if you're smart, it makes you to grow your business. Not that government is going to take your money, no, but government in that is telling you, we're interested in your business. We want you to look at the tax holiday and make proper use of it so that it grows your business. Now, the moment you're in business start growing, which you're investing, what it does is that it creates more job opportunity for people. And so as you're growing in leaps and bounds, the government is also going to make revenue. But again, there's a twist to it. The more you enjoy those tax incentives, majority of the time, the taxable revenue becomes smaller from the side of the government that nobody wants to talk about. So you need to go back and look at it critically. The reason why I'm also opening it up there, so that people will need to also have an open mind. But if you don't have this open mind, you don't read the tax laws properly, you see the government as anti-investor or anti people oriented.
We got a lot of that when this tax
because people did not understand.
Even
Okay. It sounds interesting. We'll come back. Thank you, Mr. Kofi Spliff. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Mr. TJ. It's been totally amazing. Even words and verbiages that we've heard, they begin to take on a new dimension when we're talking business and multiple income streams. Hardly anyone that I know doesn't want to be rich.
Seriously.
But saying you have the ability to work hard is just a tip of what you need to be successful. But we are going to get there. We are going to take this master class and we will study it then. I advise you to do same. We'll wrap up our conversation now. We'll just take 2 messages quickly. Samson from Cross River says, NTA, you are doing an amazing job. If all Nigerians will listen to what you have shared, I have no doubt we'll all be the better for it. Someone reaching us from Benin, Ogbe says, I never miss watching Weekend Deal, and every day I take away something new. Please take it away and make it actionable.
Seriously.
So you see our viewers have said they've been watching. So Mr. TJ, I'll start with you. What do you want our viewers to take away today that they can take action on ASAP?
Okay, so first of all, please identify a gap, solution you can provide that can give you money. So it could be based on so you come back and say, okay, how can I launch myself? And when you launch yourself, or you go into that, please, you also have an understanding that there could be setback. There could be, sometimes it doesn't go the way you want. You need to be resilient. It's either you retweak, or sometimes it's actually what you need to put more effort. Sometimes you need to change strategy. But all in all, success is natural reward for hard work. Continue to be resilient.
Thank you. Zainab.
Okay, what I have to say is, don't ask what business can I start? What diversification of income do I have to do? What you should ask is, what solution, what problem is there, and what solution can I bring in to solve those problems? And one thing you need to know is, successful businesses don't start with millions. You can start as little. What you need is one customer and your commitment to excellence to work. So today, pick up that idea, that skill you have, and work towards it. Be committed, and you'll be surprised it will blossom. So my parting word for you today: commitment, resilience, and most importantly, clarity on whatever you do.
Mr. Kofi.
Wow, thank you. As we close down, my word is just few words. First and foremost, I want to believe that this economy as it is one of the biggest opportunities it has itself before us. If only you look down. We have issues all across. So identify those areas and provide solution, and you'll be there. In trying to get that done, make sure you'll be ready, you'll be resilient, and of course, you now start having these multiple streams of income. So that is just my word to the viewer. Thank you for having me.
Should they seek mentorship? Should they seek mentorship?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Mentorship is sure.
Yes.
Then get experts that can also help you, guide you, get processes for you.
Honestly, I'm thinking if I had a mentor, I said, okay, I should actually be above Dangote at the moment.
Seriously?
Yes, because you see there's something that you actually needed to do differently at that time. So you get it. So I've been running my organization over 20 years. So I flash back and say, 20 years ago, if I've done it this way, I'd be better. But we're still happy we're doing what we're doing.
Okay,
Thank you very much, gentlemen and lady, for this wonderful masterclass you have given to us and indeed our viewers. And trust me, we have one of the largest economy in Africa, and there are a lot of opportunities that we can leverage on. Thelma?
Oh, thank you, Sule. It's a pleasure to have wonderful people who nourish our knowledge, who help us to stay on point, awake, and ready to move at every given moment. And of course, God bless Nigeria. Sure. Darius String Kids, take it away.